Hello and welcome to another edition of Inside Indiana Volleyball. And if you watch any episodes this season, you know the drill at this point. Coach Dunbar-Kruzan, I'm Sean Nash. This past week, the Hoosiers hosted two of the top teams in the Big Ten so far this season. Ohio State on Friday night, Penn State on Saturday night. Unfortunately, two losses. But Coach, I want to start with the Ohio State match, and specifically that first set where at the end of the set, a couple of calls went against you guys. That could have changed the tone of the match. What is your message to your team on calls like that, or when a situation occurs like that where it's kind of out of their control on the outcome?
Yeah, and that's the key to it. It is out of our control, and we talked over the years. We work a lot with sports psychology and things like that, and they talk about controlling the controllables. It's unfortunate, when there's some controversial calls, and especially in the first of the match when. Volleyball is such a momentum sport, right? So getting that first set, especially at home, and working that hard to get that first set would have been a huge momentum shift for us in that match, the entire match against Ohio State. You're looking at definitely going 4 sets with them and maybe 5 or winning that in 3. You don't know how that would have turned the tide. So really disappointing in that aspect to lose that first set. But more disappointing that we didn't fight as hard as we did in that first set throughout the rest of the match.
There were at least 2 bright spots this week, or this weekend. Yeah. Megan Tallman moving into 9th all-time on the assist list here at IU. Morgan Leach, 1,000 career kills, and she actually scored that on 5 straight kills on Friday night against Ohio State. Can you just talk about Megan and Morgan a little bit and what they've added? Megan just in 2 years so far, and Morgan through now in her 4th season.
Yeah, I'm really proud of Megan and what she's doing. I think she's got a long way to go, growth-wise, and understanding the game even better, and set location and all those things. She's got to stay really hungry right now. She is breaking some records and doing some things and moving up the ladder with assists, but it's more important that she leads us to victories. As a setter, that's your job, is to be a leader on the court and to find ways to help your team win. But I think individually she's getting better every day, and she just has to continue to want to watch tons of film and come in extra and do all the things that need to be done to make her a more complete player, a blocker at the net. She's defending against some of the best outside hitters in the country, and she's got to help us at the net. So, all those things, I'm really proud of where she's come from, and now I want to see where she chooses to go to after this point. To keep moving in that direction and keep moving our program in a positive direction. Morgan had a great night against Ohio State. I was really proud of her. We made them individual kind of index cards for the week last week of things we want them to really stay focused on themselves during practice to improve before we played Ohio State. And on her card was really just go for it, because she can overanalyze and overthink and kind of live in the past, with the mistakes and things like that. And I thought she really handled that very well against Ohio State, and just next ball, and she really got on a run and really just went for the big swings, and I thought she did a really nice job.
And this week I sat down with volunteer assistant coach Matt Fishman and asked him about his time so far at IU and his previous experiences. So let's take a look at that. And welcome back into Inside Indiana Volleyball. Sean Nash, and I'm sitting here now with, of course, volunteer assistant Matt Fishman. So it's right there. Matt, thanks for joining me this morning. So Matt, you came from Bishop Chatard High School most recently as a volleyball assistant. Of course, I was heckling you a little bit about that because I went to Cathedral, so rival high schools. A little bit there. But how did you end up at IU?
It's kind of a little bit of a long journey, nothing too crazy. I started out coaching at North Central. That was my first high school coaching job, and I was with the head coach there. And when the opportunity came to Chatard that it opened up, both of us went there to take over the program, and our first year won the state championship back in 2012. And I knew after that year that it's going to be good being here, learning a lot, but I know there's more than I wanted. So I started saving up money to think about going into the future of college coaching, something I hadn't done, something that my mentor, the head coach, Nick Wolf, had done, and expressed some interest to him, and he told me kind of a good process about it.
And you are a former player. Where did you play at?
I actually am one of the charter members for Carmel High School. Started the guys team back in 4 or 5, something like that, maybe 6, and fell in love with the game. Played all through high school, and then went to school at Bowling Green in Ohio, and joined the club men's team there. And the men's side of the game, there's the Division I, and then everybody else is D1 AA. So it's schools that don't have the varsity sport at the college level, or AA. And we have our own national championships that travel every year, and played all 4 years there, Bowling Green as a setter.
And now, what has your responsibilities been this season with IU as a volunteer assistant?
It might sound crazy, but I'm a full-time employee. I'm here every single day like the rest of the staff. And so I got here in about February, so my first thing that I really jumped in with is all of our camps. So it's writing camp manuals, helping the recruiting on that, and going and working off-site camps as well. And then when it came closer to regular season and the spring season, was in there writing up practice plans, helping with on-campus recruiting as a volunteer. You can work with the recruits that come on campus, but I can't go off. Can make all the phone calls, can do the back end. So I'm literally have my hands in every little thing that I can. And one of the best things I was told by Nancy Mueller was that if you want to really get high at this level in coaching in college, you need to be a sponge and just soak up everything that you can. And that's what I've done. Is I've got my hands in everything possible.
And not a bad place to do it at a Big Ten school.
Very, very true. And I think the ultimate goal would be a D1 head coach, but realistically, the things that I really enjoy right now about college coaching is the recruiting side of it. So I'd love to end up as a recruiting coordinator somewhere and really get my hands dirty, go around, travel, find the kids that are undiscovered, and really make them to the talent that we see today.
All right, Matt, thanks for taking the time to talk to me today. Now let's send it back over to Coach Dunbar's office, where we will preview the Illinois and Northwestern matches. And Coach, what has Matt Fishman added so far this season to the program?
Well, I think, every volunteer adds something different. At this level, volunteers are kind of a must-have. I mean, with the workload we have and the level we're at, they're basically like having another full-time assistant. They definitely help us run our camp program in the summer and then do a lot of video when they're here and just add a lot of input. So Matt brings a really positive attitude to work every day. I think he's excited about being at this level. I think he understands the opportunity that he has to be a coach in the Big Ten right now and to learn as much as he can possibly learn. I just told him today, okay, you got to start beefing up your resume, which means you got to understand data volley, because at this level it's a must-have. So reminding him every day is an opportunity to learn even more, because eventually he wants to be a full-time coach at this level, and you're not just going to jump into that. You kind of have to move up the ladder. So I think he understands that opportunity, and I think he has the personality. That's a really positive personality. Doesn't get down too often, and is always trying to find solutions to problems, and I think that's a good starting point for him.
And this week, you guys travel to Illinois Friday night, Northwestern Saturday. Illinois, one of the toughest environments to play in.
Yeah.
Their crowd always gets up. How do you prepare in a week like this for an environment as tough as that?
Well, we know that, and I think our players know that, and good for Illinois. They've done a great job of building a great fan base and a great student fan base. And so I think we know what's coming on that front, but we just need to continue to improve, and like we talked about, the inconsistencies and just player development right now. We need to stay on that and stay hungry to do that. But Illinois and Northwestern are playing very well. Northwestern just had a loss, but they've upset some really good teams, and Illinois just beat Penn State, then turn around, at Penn State, then turn around at Nebraska and beat Nebraska. I just watched that match yesterday. Both really quality opponents that we're going to have to bring our very best, and the players are going to have to be really motivated this week to improve. So that's just the added bonus, is the environment. But hey, that's why we're in the Big Ten, and I love that environment. I mean, it's great to see they got it going on there, and it's that's a really fun place to play, I think. So I'm excited about. They've made some improvements to their facility, and obviously they're winning a lot, so the fans are going to come out, so we expect a packed house. That's the thing. I look at our team, and if we stay hungry, man, we could really improve a lot. There's a lot of detailed things individually that they can take care of if they're really focused on that. And we do that, and you see like that second set against Penn State, we hit 400, and we didn't play above our ability. And that's what I tried to get them to see. Athletically, Penn State right now is a little bit better than we are. But when we just focused on us and our game plan and what we need to accomplish, we did very well in that set. We had very limited errors, and we scored and stayed with the game plan when we asked them to do that. I thought especially Amelia had a great match there. I think she's really buying into the game plan and buying into making changes to what we're asking her to do with her approach. We're asking her to narrow out her approach a little bit and get her left side up when she's swinging. And I thought she, as a whole over the weekend, really focused on that, and it made a difference in her play. She hit 300 against Penn State and led both teams with kills. So, I was really proud of her for making that change. And I think if everybody can really embrace that and do those type of things, it's not a miracle, but it's just, man, this is what I need to do. So this is my focus for practice. And then I got to maintain that focus in a match when it's easy to kind of go back to your comfort zone. You got to stay out of your comfort zone and really focus on doing it the right way.
So that's going to do it for us this week on Inside Indiana Volleyball. For Coach Sherry Dunbar-Kruzan, I'm Sean Nash. Thanks for watching. And be sure to tune in to both matches this weekend. Both are 8 o'clock Eastern Time start, since we are in Chicago Central Time for this week. So be sure to tune in on IUHoosiers.com for both of those matches.